Good morning, welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, where we analyze some stories on the front pages of the newspapers each day. Joining us this morning to analyze the big stories, of course, that are making the rounds on national dailies is Adebayo Fajimi. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good
We
morning.
begin with the Nigeria News Direct paper. The big story is 36 governors lose suit to federal government on local government financial autonomy. We have a writer there. Tukuro says NFIU to report all transactions on local government joint accounts to ICPC, EFCC. What do you make of this update?
It's a good development, and it's something every forward-looking Nigerian should be happy about. That these people, lost, in this bid, and because if you look at it very well, like I think I said it once on this show that the one of the very important tier of government is the local government.
Grassroots, yes, you said it.
Yes, and this is the tier of government that is much closer to the people, that is saddled with a lot of responsibility, like, construction of roads, establishment and building of healthcare system, and so on and so forth like that. But these people, or let me say this harm, the tier of government has been sidelined, it has been reduced to nothing. Because when money is coming from the federal government, it goes directly to the state
and they decide how they share it.
Decide what they give to them, and they hold the rest. So they don't even care about what happens to the people at the grassroots, because the truth is that the state government cannot solve every problem. They have their own responsibility, just like the federal government has its own. But the government that is closer to the people is the local government, and this is a very welcome development, and it's something I'm personally happy about, that these people are being shamed, are being exposed now. So I think what mattered now is how this whatever is now coming from the local government, from the federal government to the local area, is how it will be well managed, and let's hope that we will see the beautiful ones among those who will be managing the resources that is coming to the local government, because as we all know that in this nation, the beautiful ones are yet to be born. So everybody is just looking for one or two means to amass wealth at the expense of the life of the citizen.
Yes, I was going to say that before I saw the writer that says NFIU to report all transactions on local government joint account to ICPC, EFCC, because we know that when power is being given to the average Nigerian, there are always speculation that he or she may mismanage it. Do you understand? So now there is there's some sort of authority now. It's you decide how you want to spend your money. Now, how can we stop? How can we checkmate all of their transactions? It's only the ICPC and EFCC, and I do hope that it's a welcome development going forward. That's on Nigeria News Direct paper. From the very top, of course, we see APC primaries. Anxiety in ruling party as NWC readjust elections timetable again. The writer says approves state local government area delegates to vote. That is on page 4. Besides that, Fidelity Bank partners union systems to optimize trade finance operations. Of course, that story is on the Nigerian News Direct paper. We'll move over to the Blueprint newspaper, and the big story is Adamu, non-assent to the amended Electoral Act, not ploy to elongate Buhari's tenure. We have a couple of writers there. It's too late to sign, election observers tell Buhari. Status quo ante remained. That's APC professionals saying that president did nothing wrong, says lawyers, and court strikes out Mefele's suit. Now we're seeing an update here, Electoral Act and a non-assent, and they're saying it's not a ploy to elongate Buhari's tenure. But how do you react to this news?
It has nothing to do with the elongation of term of the president.
Because he's done.
Yes, of course it's done, and he will surely leave. I so much believe that. The issue is, the confrontation, let me just use the word confrontation, between the executive and the legislative arm. Remember when this electoral act came out, and after the assent, being given to the heart by the president, he told them that this section, I think that section where he said that disallow a political appointee not to be able to vote or be voted for at the party convention. He told them to look at it, and when this National Assembly came together again, they tried to amend the act that allows them the National Assembly to be part of the statutory delegate that will be able to vote at the convention. Now, you are amending a act, electoral act,
to favor
you,
a group of people.
To favor you, why you have done something that did not favor the executive arm, that is allowed political appointee. So what do you expect? So what I think is happening here is just, I think this development has political undertone, because ordinarily, if you want to look at it, okay, the president will like, okay, now I told you to do something, you did something that did not favor me, and now you amended something and you pass it to me, something that favors you, and you want me to assent, to give my consent to it. Of course, I think that is what is happening. But whatever the case is, there is still room, like I have said, on this show, that no house, no society, no institution is perfect. We are only working towards perfection.
Yes.
So the two arms of government, should come together, especially the National Assembly, the policymakers should look at how they can, do this thing better, probably in the next dispensation, to ensure that, they do, what will favor both the executive arm and the legislative arm as well.
Definitely agree with you on that one. On the national economy, the big story is more Nigerians fall into poverty as GDP grows by 3.11%. That's a bit of an irony, if you ask me. That's the story there on national economy. And Daily Trust, the big story is IPOB kills woman, 4 kids, 6 other northerners in Anambra. We have a couple of writers there. They say, they're killing us every day, says Hausa community leader. Northern group blames hate campaign by regional agitators. An expert says, enforce anti-terrorism law in Southeast. And police commissioner says, communities shielding criminals. The lower banner says, sit at home forces PDP to shift primaries in Southeast. On Leadership newspaper, the big story is APC presidential flag bearer Ubunaya Onu may be Buhari's dark horse. That story is on the Leadership newspaper. That's the big story there. On Business Day newspaper, the big story is telcos waste train as 5% airtime tax starts June. That's the big story on Business Day newspaper. Again, we are seeing an update that affects the average Nigerians, you and I. Now we're seeing this amount, 5% airtime tax. How do you react to this story?
Well, I will say in every society or in every development, there are people that, pay the sacrifice, for the development of people. Even in Western or developed nation, it happens. The concern we only have in Nigeria is that whatever we are doing, especially in leadership, nobody is accountable. So people are in the place of power or leadership to amass wealth for personal gain, and to ensure that their own generation is out of the cycle of poverty. So this development is a good one. So the concern is just that how are we sure that the resources will be used judiciously? It will be used for what is meant for, that it will not be siphoned or it will not be embezzled by a group of people or by by an individual. So the concern is just how accountable government is going to be regarding this development. And also, if you look at it, they say 83 million Nigerians who are unable to pay premiums for their heads. So another issue is how sure or what data are they giving to ensure that it is 83 people
and it's accurate?
83 million people, so that are unable to to afford this thing. So there are a lot of things that is playing out in our national life that that are not really desirable. But regarding this, I would say it's a very good development, provided those people who are in place of leadership will be accountable.
Just accountability and transparency are the watchwords there. Besides that, we see Nigeria's GDP growth eludes businesses' household. That's on page 30 of the Business Day newspaper. And of course, that's on the front page right there of the newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, the big story is APC presidential primary. Lagos, Borno lose jumbo delegates again. Party shifts senatorial poll. That is the updates there on the Punch newspaper. And on The Nation, APC primary Buhari aspirant governors for high-level talks. That's the big story on The Nation newspaper. Of course, you can stay updated on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. And our social media handle is at TOSTV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Many thanks, Adebayo, for joining us on Live Stories today.
You're welcome.
And thank you, viewers, for coming away again tomorrow. My name is Merciful Ajinomo. Stay safe and see you tomorrow.